Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, lots to watch for sure, and to help us out, we've got Dan Koh. Good morning, Dan.
Yes, good morning, Ryan, and happy birthday to us.
To us, because we are 7.
That's
the
right.
Station.
Oh, we're 7? I thought... Oh, yes, we're 7, indeed. Yes, and welcome back to Companies to Watch. And that's a segment where we spotlight and stock you up with ideas of listed companies that will call for your attention. So we look at market trends and risks, and we want you to stick around for some of the hidden gems and warning signs to steer clear of. And be part of the conversation, 88550893. Text us whether you think the company is a hot or not. Ryan, you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, before we start, Ryan, what's your favorite go-to sportswear brand?
Okay, I have to say I am a Adidas fan.
You read my notes, Ryan.
No, for real, actually, because
Okay.
I think they have this charm to it, like this retro feel to it.
It does, and you're a basketball fan, right?
I am, and they're quite big in basketball
They're
as well.
huge, yeah. The brand with 3 stripes. No sneaker brand apparently has been making impactful sports footwear longer or more consistently than Adidas. Because if you look beyond the American buyers, Nike, Adidas' full catalog is rich and massive, and it stretches several decades before the modern sneaker culture was born to where it is today. And today, we've got news that the Samba shoemaker is making big achievements, Ryan.
Okay, the Samba shoe, of course, is the retro-looking one that,
Yeah.
I guess, a tribute to the past.
Yeah, and I think it's inspired by soccer boots, if I'm not wrong. And it's been lately trending all across the markets. I've been seeing in many Nike or Adidas stores, especially during my recent trip to Taiwan. So I think it's been the latest buzz for Adidas, and it's doing well for them because Adidas recently reported better than expected results amid the sustained boom for retro sneakers like the Samba, as well as more sales from its shrinking stockpile of Yeezy footwear. Have you been a fan of that?
I was not a big fan of the Easy line, but it made big money for them for some time until they were stuck with too much to sell because of the fallout.
That's right. We'll talk about the fallout in just a bit. But in the fourth quarter, the German sportswear company generated an operating profit of 57 million euros. And that drove full-year operating profit to 1.3 billion euros. That's higher than it forecasted in October, based on unaudited figures at least. So overall, the CEO said that, they have been winning over investors with back-to-basics focus on sports and developing new footwear and apparel. Anything that appeases you, Ryan?
I think they've got something going on, because if Nike is losing market share and Adidas is not, then it shows that designs are working, the quality of the shoe is something that people like, so they are definitely getting something right.
That's right. And at least for now, he's hoping to close the gap with the struggling industry leader, Nike. The newest set of results comes after an underwhelming 2023 when the company suffered from the cancelled Yeezy partnership, like you rightfully mentioned earlier, with the rapper and designer Ye, or formerly known as Kanye West. Now, if you remember, they launched a business deal back in 2014 after, Kanye West ended his affiliation with Nike, and it became one of the most successful sportswear tie-ups in history. And that resulted in the Yeezy range, helping West become a billionaire, essentially. But of course, after his anti-Semitic comments back in 2022, they ended the partnership, and they're left with tons and tons of Yeezy stock that's worth some $1.2 billion. So I guess in one way or another, at least they're selling out and clearing their stockpiles, and that kind of helped them with their profits as well. So good to know that at least they've been working or moving towards greater heights. Are there any kind of lines or latest products from Adidas that interests you, Ryan?
Yeah, they're going back to the, I suppose, like you pointed out, the roots of how they started with the designs, and I think a lot of it is finding their way into streetwear, into basketball. So you have that starting to see a resurgence of sorts. I'm not sure why, but it seems younger folks like you starting to go back into the old designs, the retro stuff.
Yeah, it's like the superstars, right? The blast of the past. But I guess it's a sort of old is gold kind of thing, and it, transcends through generations. So I suppose this is definitely something to watch out for, at least when it comes to the sportswear market. So Adidas is certainly growing across all its regions and divisions, with more interest from consumers as well as retailers in both sports and lifestyle products. So demand for classic sneaker models, you might, be familiar with some, including the Samba, Special, and Campus. Those have helped Adidas win back favor with retail store partners. And according to the CEO, they also feel good about the future and see potential to increase their market share in all markets, potentially gaining double-digit growth for this year. So the company will publish its final results on March the 5th, along with its financial guidance for 2025. And the verdict for today for Adidas, for me, is going to be hot. What's in your books, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm looking at what they've got recently, and they've got a Year of the Snake Predator soccer boots. So they are really rolling out a couple of new models to try to capture a bigger slice of the pie.
Yeah, slithering to your soul, Ryan. It's currently trading at about $134.29. That's up about 11% so far this year. We've got, consensus forecasts from TipRanks, Yahoo, and Barron's all giving a buy rating for the stock. And of course, that wraps up our analysis of today's Stock in Focus, Adidas. What do you think? 88550893. Tell us whether you think it's hot or not. Now, Ryan, before we end, here's a fun fact about Adidas. Now, they're known for its 3 stripes, but did you know that the stripes didn't originally belong to them?
Oh, why 3 stripes?
Now, it actually belonged to Kahoo, a Finnish sneaker brand. I don't know if you heard of that one. Not me, at least. Put the 3 stripes on its own footwear before Adidas did. Kahoo had the 3 stripes, but the stripes were sold to Kahoo to Adidas in 1952 for $2,347 and 2 bottles of whiskey. The next time we make a deal, I'm taking 2 bottles of whiskey with me.
All right, sweet.
All right, then that would pretty much do it for today's Companies to Watch.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance.